First Federal program on WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
It is Friday morning, and it's an absolutely beautiful Friday compared to some of the last Fridays we've had here. Sitting at 34 degrees, and Evan, you're back.
I'm back. Brought with me the balmy weather. I really wanted to be outside doing something yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready to be outside today. I mean, already 34 degrees. I'm sure it's going to get colder at some point today, but I'll take where we're sitting right now.
I was thinking, we're already past Groundhog Day or something. Heading
Not
towards
yet.
spring, but
Not
no.
yet.
Okay. Yeah. Pull the rug out from under me then.
Hey, I have to.
How you been?
Good. How about yourself?
Real good.
Good.
We got a beautiful day. We're glad to be here this morning. Glad to be back. Got a great guest here later in the show. Kelly McCall of local fame will be here talking to us about her business and fitness. And we may have to circle back on those French fries.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to wait for Tanner to get over here, but I'll ask you now. Now he comes over. Oh, wait, yeah, I should probably go over there.
There's the word French fries. So.
Yeah. So what do you guys use to dip your French fries?
Well, I don't mind them plain. I'll just say that.
Me neither.
So ketchup's been okay. I could do a little bit of that. But I kind of do like ranch sometimes, just a little.
Okay.
I'm a cheese or barbecue guy.
Okay.
I don't do ketchups.
Barbecue's good.
Yeah. I don't do ketchup, but I like barbecue sauce. I'm weird.
Here's a random one. If you have like a salad as well or something, and you dip it in like the salad dressing, like Italian or
I've never tried
balsamic or something. Yeah, that's real big.
Gravy's a good one. I know you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Before we got in there. That's a good one.
Canadians do, like
Maple
some
syrup.
type of vinegar on it.
Vinegar.
A lot.
Yeah.
I can't remember what type. But malt vinegar, that's what it is.
Yep.
That's big across the border.
I
never got into that as much. Just a real sour taste.
Ah.
Kind of overwhelms the potato.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd like that. I'll stick to the barbecue or the cheese.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks,
We'll
Paul.
let you have it.
But thanks for letting us weigh in. That was
Hey, no problem.
important
You
to
guys
us.
can always do it on the line on our Facebook page too.
I think I did that this week.
Yes,
A couple of the different music ones.
Yeah, with your Green Day band T-shirt.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever had a band T-shirt. I'm thinking.
I think that's the only one I own.
See, I missed that generation just a little barely.
Yeah.
I've never had the tour dates on the back or anything in any shirts that I've had, unfortunately.
No, mine don't have tour dates on the back of them.
I was really interested and enjoyed Pearl Jam when I was in my 20s and teens.
Okay.
A lot.
All right.
Less interested now, but that was at the time. That's one I might have had if I had one.
That'd be a cool one.
Okay, how about some trivia, Tanner?
Yeah, Paul, NFL playoffs starting this weekend.
All right, let's
So I'm
go.
going to throw in an NFL playoff related question. What NFL stadium, past or present, has hosted the most NFL playoff games? I'm going to give you three choices. So Lambeau Field, home of the Packers, Gillette Stadium, home of the Patriots, or Candlestick Park, home of the 49ers.
Can I phone a friend?
And that would be a first.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure all these are in existence anymore, are they?
Maybe not.
Okay, all right.
He's not going to give any clues because it might help.
Okay.
So past or present.
Yeah.
So,
Only three choices too. This is
I
pretty,
almost gave him a fourth, but
I like stats. This is pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Well, you could have thrown Cleveland on there. I would have known that one was wrong.
I should have just done that just for your sake. So
That's good.
yeah,
Lambeau is interesting.
yeah,
Been around a while.
all three pretty good choices. So.
Yeah.
A lot going on in sports right now. Locally this week, it's been Rochester Valley Week, all across the board for different sports. I know Rochester's got the upper hand on most of the matchups this week: wrestling, swimming. Tonight they have boys basketball. Tomorrow, girls basketball.
Yep.
The boys basketball game tonight's at Tippecanoe Valley. The girls basketball game tomorrow's at Rochester.
Yep.
WRI will be on the call for both of those.
Yes, Randy Wynn will have complete coverage of both games.
Should be exciting.
Yeah.
Always fun when those
Always
two
fun.
schools get together.
Definitely.
And it's, it used to be they used to get together in the holiday tournament season and then come back around a month later. But now this is the one and only shot you get. So
Just leave the rivalry for rivalry wins.
exactly how it should be.
Yes.
So good luck to everybody involved tonight and tomorrow in those games.
Sports are so much more fun with a good rival.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep, 100%. College basketball. Indiana suffered a tough loss last night at Iowa, up 8.5, and then I don't want to say the wheels came off in the second half, but Iowa came out with more juice. Let's say that.
The wheels spun a little. I think. They didn't get much traction.
I mean, Indiana is definitely an improved team. I think you could say from last year. They just have to figure out how to win away from Assembly Hall.
They lacked some confidence with the ball, and
Yes.
when they got pressured a little bit, when Iowa turned it up to try to get back in it, IU just didn't have much
And
of
Iowa does that against every team with that little half-court trap. It serves everybody problems, even teams who have beat them like Illinois. It almost got Iowa right back in the game. And turnovers just start coming when they do that. It's like, they've practiced it.
I
But it
know.
must be one of those defenses that you can practice all you want, but until you get in the game situation.
I think that they don't do it the whole time. They just turn it on and off. So all of a sudden, maybe anxiety flares up a little bit.
Get used to it and it's
Yeah.
a flow. So.
I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
pretty impressive to watch.
It is. And like we were talking earlier, the Murray twins on Iowa are tough. You can shut one down, but the other one can go off.
How many years of eligibility do they have left?
I think they're only sophomores.
Oh gosh, I was afraid you might say that.
Yeah. So,
They're
but,
so
but I
talented.
think Keegan's already getting mocked pretty high in the NBA draft.
Okay.
Not sure about Chris. So.
After last night,
Yeah,
I
he
may
had
help this
he had a little highlight tape
status.
last night. So the Boilermakers are back in action tonight. They've had almost a week off. Their game Tuesday, which was supposed to be at Michigan, got postponed due to COVID running through Michigan, which Michigan had Michigan State game and the Purdue game called off. I think they're good to go tonight against Illinois. So they're the only team in the Big Ten that's going to have to make up multiple games at this point. So Purdue's in action tonight. They're hosting Nebraska. That's at 6:30 on Fox Sports 1.
What do you make of Michigan this year? I mean, I know we haven't seen as
Underachieving
much.
right now. I don't know if they were overhyped or what. I mean, they came in ranked top 10. They already have 6 losses. They only had 5 last year.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I don't know what's going on
They
there.
have churned several players through there, so
Yeah, maybe a break's good for them. Maybe they needed a break, not in the way they got it, but we'll see. We'll see tonight when they play. They play. I think it's at Illinois tonight. Illinois is playing really well.
yeah, extremely well.
Fortunately. And then other local college teams in action this weekend. Butler's at Villanova on Sunday. That's at noon on Fox Sports 1. Butler plays starting Sunday 4 games in a 7-day stretch.
Wow.
Because they got to make up some games in the Big East. So, and then Notre Dame's at Virginia Tech tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on the ACC network. So a lot of college basketball. Indiana's got the weekend off. They play at Nebraska on Monday, which Purdue also plays on Monday at Illinois at noon. Noon on
Martin
Fox.
Luther King Jr. Day, isn't it?
So it's some of the Big Ten's kind of trying out. The NBA's done games on Martin Luther King Jr. Day for years. So now some of the conferences are trying it since most of the universities, if not all of them, don't have class on Mondays. So,
All right.
yep.
We know what Tanner will be doing.
Wait a second, we're open on Monday.
I may have the day off on Monday.
Even if he doesn't, he'll be in his office. The door will be shut with a do not disturb
That's
sign.
right.
on.
He hits the boss button when somebody walks by. That's funny.
In NFL playoffs, like I mentioned in the trivia question, going on this weekend. Starting tomorrow, we have the Raiders at the Bengals. That's at 4:30 on NBC. Patriots at the Bills at 8:15 on CBS. Then on Sunday, Eagles at Buccaneers, 1 o'clock on Fox. 49ers at Cowboys, 4:30 on CBS. And Steelers at Chiefs at 8:15 on NBC. And then for the first time ever, we have a Monday night playoff game. The Cardinals at the Rams, 8:15 on ESPN on Monday.
I'm not sure if I like that yet or not.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I do like the Manning cast will be back for one
Well,
more week.
that might make it worth it.
Eli and Peyton have been really entertaining this year with
Yeah.
those. So,
I've heard a lot of good buzz.
yeah, it's.
about that.
I watched that telecast over the regular ESPN broadcast.
Same.
Actually.
Usually I don't have the volume on, but since they've been doing theirs, I like to
Turn
listen.
it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I do.
They
That's
usually
good.
have some good guests on too. So, got some tidbits here this morning on this day. In 1794, Congress changed the U.S. flag to have 15 stars and 15 stripes.
Okay.
Now we have 50 stars and 13 stripes.
Yes.
So why 15 stripes back then?
I don't know. I didn't say. I was
Didn't
trying to
double
figure
click
that
on
out.
that?
I should have double clicked. I know 13 now for the 13 colonies.
I
don't
know,
for
right?
15.
Isn't that
then,
interesting?
yeah.
Probably,
Reduced it by 2.
probably didn't have anything to do with the colonies back then.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to be the same number for each one. I don't know.
Could very well be.
On this day in 1930, Mickey Mouse first appeared in a comic strip.
That's a long time ago.
He's still pretty famous.
Yeah, I think everybody's heard of him at some point.
What if you were telling your friends, hey, I got this really neat idea. I've created this animated mouse. I want you
You
to
probably would get laughed
name
at.
it Mickey.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
probably get laughed at.
And just think how big that's become.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah. It's funny.
On this day in 1962, Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain scored 73 points in the Warriors' 135-117 win over the Chicago Packers. It was the most scored points at the time in an NBA regulation game. It remains to this day tied for third highest total.
It's a bundle.
And Wilt owns the first with 100.
That's right. And that
Kobe
iconic
Bryant,
picture that they
81.
have. Wow.
So, yep.
You think about how many little bunnies he must. The Packers must not have had much of much hype going on
you
there.
know, when a lot of people talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, I mean, Michael Jordan's hard to argue with, but Wilt needs more respect than he gets, I think. He was pretty dominant. Pretty dominant.
It's hard for us to relate because it was a lot of, before lots of
Sure.
telecasts and replays and
Sure.
all that.
I mean, they changed the rules of the dunk just because of him at the time.
Wow.
He was dunking so much, they got rid of the dunk for a while, and then they eventually brought it back.
They kind of probably wanted to do that when Shaq came in the league.
Probably.
Too.
Probably.
That rookie year was something else.
Yep, breaking backboards and all. On this day, 1999, Michael Jordan retired for a second time.
Yeah.
He then would come out of retirement in 2001 as a part owner or owner of the Wizards and a player for 2 years.
I couldn't remember how long that was, but I was thinking when I read that, and then a third time.
Yep, in 99 when he retired, that was the short strike year. That saw the Spurs beat the Knicks in the NBA Finals, and so he took a little while and decided, I'm going to hang him up.
Well, now that I know a little bit more about human resources, I'm thinking, that's a lot of paperwork. 3 retirements? Oh my gosh. That's all I think about now. It's
So
just
bad
like,
for
oh my
the
goodness.
Bulls HR department and PR department both.
I know, it's like, again? Oh my gosh, I've got to reverse all that.
And we got a lot of days. Today's National Dress Up Your Pet Day. My pet doesn't like to wear things.
I was going to ask if you're going to dress your dog up.
Okay, so I wanted to tell you this. We got a sweater for our new family pet, the cat. She's about a year old. Put it on her. Well, we've been feeding her so much, it bulged a little bit. It needs to come in and see Kelly at the McCall Fitness. But she got out of the sweater on her own when we weren't watching. How would a cat with no thumbs? You follow me?
Yeah,
It was just laying on the floor, and I turned back around like, what?
Walk?
I don't know.
the cats can do some
Pretty
amazing
impressive.
things. So, it's International Kite Day.
Oh, that's something that,
Yeah. I've
the love
played
of
kite
kites.
a long
Yeah,
time.
that's kind of gone by the
Yeah.
wayside. You think
Yeah.
that'll come back around, like fashion and stuff like that?
Why not? Why not?
Kites in the square.
There we go.
Okay.
National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day.
I don't know if that has as much play in the Midwest.
Yeah,
Not as much.
Seems like an
No,
East Coast
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's National Organize Your Home Day.
thing. That's every day.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say,
I knew that.
yeah, that's a good reminder every day. So.
Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Tanner.
you're welcome.
That gave us a lot of things to think about doing later this evening. Probably won't get around to any of those.
I won't either. Don't worry.
Okay, upcoming events. Sometimes in January, after the holidays, there's a little bit of event hangover, not as many
Yeah.
things going on. But the Akron's Lions Club is holding a fish fry at the Akron Community Center tomorrow from 4 to 6 or until sold out. $10 a pound.
Wow.
They weigh this stuff for you. This
Yeah.
isn't just like a fillet. So
Wow.
bring some heavy duty carrying
Yeah.
so you can really load up on some
Don't come hungry.
good
No,
fish.
I'm kidding.
Also, I don't have the details, but you could easily look them up. But the library's holding community meetings, trying to gain some input
Yes.
around the community, which is really neat.
Yeah, you can check out their Facebook page.
That's right.
FultonCountyPost.com's got the story as well.
Thank you, Paul. And They are going through strategic planning and really wanting to engage with all of us on what we're looking for from the library, what's working well, what things we might want to see in the future for programming. So that's great. What a great institution, supporting learning, education, entertainment, togetherness. So I really appreciate that. That'd be something neat to check out. And this week, Mayor Ted Denton honored Mike Lyons. He got the 2021 Rochester Citizen of the Year Award, so we wanted to give flowers to Mike. His many years of dedication and involvement with the local Eagles chapter. And you and Randy covered it pretty well on the Money News, Paul. With where we're at with the Dow Jones. We're about even for the week.
Okay.
But there's a lot going on in the bond market, which we don't talk about that much. We usually talk about stocks and things like that. But the bonds get really nervous about inflation.
Oh.
And there's a lot of headlines about inflation.
Yes.
So things are kind of jumping around a little bit. And some of the bonds kind of correlate with mortgage interest rates, which is what we watch a lot as a mortgage bank at First Federal. So we've seen some rates jumping around a little bit with some of this uncertainty around, is inflation really here to stay? Are things getting more expensive? Is it just temporary because there's a bunch of containers on ships around that can't get in, or we can't get computer chips to build cars or some things like that. So some of those things will get taken care of over time, and nobody really knows exactly how. There's so many things that play into it. How is it all going to work out? Well, nobody knows. So that's why there's a free market making bets on things like bonds and having the rates kind of jump around a little bit when it's not quite so clear. So we've seen that, and then that ends up affecting the stock market too, in terms of future earnings of those companies that it represents. That's really what the stock market price is the all of the investors put together outlook on future earnings for those companies.
Okay.
So good news on that end. The profits for the S&P 500 companies rose 22% in the fourth quarter.
Hey, that's great.
And almost 50% last year. So
wow.
They had a really strong year, and I think the outlook is pretty rosy for publicly traded companies that are on the stock exchange in terms of their earnings. So that should continue to be pretty good, and maybe that'll kind of counteract some of the nervousness about inflation. Another thing that's made headlines right now is Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. They had their open market committee meeting towards the end of last year, and then they always review the minutes really closely, the press does. And so the open market committee always tries to get out in front of the story and really try to set expectations.
Right.
They don't want any surprises at all to shake the markets or make people nervous. So they always try to tell what they're going to do in the future. And one thing they're looking to do in the future is, in response to some of the inflation that is being seen in the economy, is maybe raising their base interest rate a few times this year.
Okay.
And that hasn't been done for a while, since maybe it was like 2018, maybe it was the last time they did that. They lowered rates a little bit, and then when the pandemic hit, they dropped rates all the way to the bottom. And that's where we've been sitting. So it's normal and natural to think that they would find the right time to start moving those up. Usually they look for full employment in the economy, and they feel like that's what they're seeing right now, which is also a good sign.
Wow, absolutely.
So we'll look for that this year and see what kind of effect that has. Short-term interest rates don't really always affect mortgage rates, which is what we're watching for, but it does affect prime rate, which is a key business lending rate.
Okay.
So if that rate's going up, it might make some business lending a little bit more expensive for a borrower.
All right.
So people are paying attention to that, and we'll see how it goes. That's the fun of the economy.
Right.
If you were an economist, you never really have to be right, because you're just always guessing, and everybody else is guessing, and then, whatever happens, nobody knows.
There are two career paths that you get paid to be wrong: an economist and a weatherman.
Well, we try to handle both of those on the show, don't we? No one holds us accountable. That's pretty special.
I know, I like that. Because we're not forecasting anything, we're just reporting it.
Yeah, right now, what's happening? Roller coaster. Okay. Well, that's pretty fun. Thinking about First Federal, we are open 8:30 to 5 today. Tomorrow, 8:30 to noon. Our ATM's up and running, I think, Tanner.
Yep.
Right? We cranked it up.
Yep.
It really goes pretty good 24/7 for us. You can make deposits and get cash. And have you ever tried to make deposits at the ATM, Paul?
All the time.
Yeah, it works pretty smooth.
Oh
doesn't it?
yeah, it does.
You can do cash or check.
Yep. Sign my check, pop it into the ATM, get my receipt, and drive away.
Yeah, and we don't even have to be open. We
No.
can be in the cover of darkness.
Yes. Well, it's not completely dark. You guys got some nice lights around.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a good lead in. I appreciate that. Hey, we are offering our Simply Free checking accounts, and we've had these gifts for a while. With very popular fleece blanket, always popular, and then our Bluetooth Christmas ornament speaker. You can get that right now, just in time to put it in storage till next year.
Yes.
You try it out first, but get it in there. And then next year, when you get your Christmas decorations out, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That's great. So I really recommend that. You don't have to open a checking account. You can just refer a friend to do it.
Yeah.
Get that free gift. So we're really, really excited about that. If you're interested in some business lending, we're doing that now too for the last 5 years.
Yes.
And I'm having a lot of success helping borrowers with business needs and really enjoying that. And we were just talking about that short-term interest rate. The business interest rate that's normally used in business loans is called the prime rate. And it's a rate that's kind of universal around the country on the index for what these business loans are offered at. And so if that rate's going up, sometimes you can look at maybe locking that in before that happens and maybe assuring yourself on what your business lending rate's going to be for the next few years. So this is a good time to look at that, and I'd recommend calling Lindy Breeden for that, 223-2128, and checking that out if that's interesting to you. Also wanted to just mention our insurance services. We've got a phone number to get a really detailed quote. You can get turned around pretty quick just to kind of check and see if your insurance premiums are in line with market, and also that you've got the right coverages. Sometimes as your situation changes, you may want to adjust some of your coverages, because we don't always know this about insurance, but you know, you're basically paying for a certain level of coverage on things, and you can kind of choose that.
Right.
So sometimes that's a good time to check it out, and our phone number is 833-331-0020. Or you can go online if you want to shop around and see the different types of products that we have, which are quite a few, and that's firstfederalbanking.insuranceiagle.com.
All right.
So, you know, we always like to say we're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County, and that's still true.
Still true.
And our goal isn't to become the biggest bank in the nation like Bank of America or Chase. Our goal is to become the best bank
Yep.
in North Central Indiana, take care of customers, and really build relationships. And that's what we focus our attention on, rather than just sprawling and getting as big as possible.
Absolutely.
Our borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
Okay, we want to welcome our esteemed guest in this morning. Hello, Kelly.
Good morning.
We've got Kelly McCall here to talk with us about the proper portion for French fry eating, and adding a dip is the right way to go.
I can't believe we're talking about this. Like almost 8 a.m. But, all right, no.
French fries are good any time of day.
Well, I was going to say, maybe that's the better question, is when do you eat French fries? If it's in the morning before noon, we need you to give Kelly a call.
Moderately. Always in moderation.
Kelly, you are a local entrepreneur.
Yes.
We love entrepreneurs at First Federal Savings Bank because, you know, our founder, Dick Belcher, started the bank in 1966, has a real entrepreneurial spirit, and something that we're still passionate about today. And we're excited to have you on this morning to talk about your business.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I have been in business this past December. It's been 5 years.
Wow.
Which I can't believe it. And with the pandemic, you know, I had to shift and pivot just like most small businesses. But I made it through, and
Congratulations.
yeah,
That's
thank
no
you.
small feat.
No, it's been challenging, like anybody else, you know, during this time can relate, I'm sure, but it's been great. I have awesome clients, so I want to give a shout out to them because I know they're listening or watching, and my family, like everybody that has been supportive of me, like
That's
during
outstanding.
these 5 years. So it's been awesome to be here and do what I do and try to help people, you know, make healthy habits and do things the right way.
And we were mentioning earlier, we're in the business of helping people also. Really building relationships, supporting people, and I think that's a similarity that we have as two local businesses. That can't be done without that loyal local support.
Right. Yeah, my clients honestly are like family. Like I've been with them a long time, or they've been with me a long time, and they are like family.
Well,
and
we noticed that on our social media channels before the show this morning, yesterday, and after Tanner posted that you were going to be on, a whole host of people were very excited about that, and that tells you all you need to know about B. McCall Fit LLC and Kelly McCall and her business is you're changing lives, you're building relationships, and you're really inputting a lot into this community.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying to like make things. We were talking about French fries and like talking about these things. Like I'm a human being too. I'm normal. You have those things, but it's just working them in, and it's just trying to make subtle changes and doing things long term and not short term.
Very good.
Because at this time of the year, people, the hype of things,
New
diets,
Year's resolutions. I'm not happy about all the sweets I ate at the holidays.
Yeah, but it's just being realistic and just asking yourself, whatever it is you're doing, or whatever it is that you set out to do, can you do it long term? Whatever changes you're trying to make, and that is like the key.
So I'm hearing a lot of coaching type things in that statement there.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about really what your job is as you get to know someone and start communicating with them.
Yeah, so pretty much it's just holding someone accountable. They come to me, they have a goal in mind.
They're asking for that.
Yeah, they're asking for help, which is, step one, because a lot of people try to do it on their own and they fail, or, things didn't go as they had hoped. And so I'm just there to help them program. They come to my studio, we do exercise, mainly weight training, because not enough people are weight training. We are cardio based. Running is their form of exercise that they're gonna maybe choose to like help them get their goal.
Right.
And so I program a strength training program. They come and see me, we do it, but just holding them accountable and helping them work through situations that they're trying to maneuver in as they try to change and make better choices in their life.
And you're there to encourage and support them through that.
Yeah, yep.
So how does that work with different personalities? Because I think Paul and Tanner and I are all a bit different in how we communicate and how we like to receive information. That seems like a big challenge.
Yeah, it is. Like I'm a pretty easygoing person. I'm pretty upbeat and spirit. So like I can handle, I think, strong personalities and just an array of people. But the person has to be coachable. Like you have to want change and being accepting of that advice I'm giving and trying to implement it into your life. But you have the client has to be coachable.
So that's the one thing that everybody needs is maybe that attitude going into it.
Right.
Of being accepting of what you might be saying.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, and change doesn't happen overnight. I know there's a lot of tactics out there trying to, play people in and saying losing 30 pounds in 30 days or whatever. That is really unrealistic.
Okay.
Or you may, and then you gain it all back or something, so it is just trying to be realistic about things as well with that client.
Okay, so you talked about programming and weight training. That's pretty interesting. You probably get clients that come to you at different fitness levels.
Yes.
How do you approach customizing something?
Yeah, so assessing them, seeing what they're capable of or what their previous, exercise
30
history
pounds
is
in 30 days before they came in.
Yeah, but seeing what their, obviously what their goals are, and then just trying to work around and meet them where they're at. I'm not starting everybody doing the same thing.
That's good to hear, right, guys?
Or anything like that. So, but yeah, just everything is very customizable, and it just depends, honestly, on the person and what their overall goal is.
We're speaking with Kelly McCall, local entrepreneur, owner of B. McCall Fit LLC. Got a studio here on 8th Street.
Yeah, I'm just down.
A few blocks down.
Yeah.
We made it easy on you
Yeah,
this morning.
I know. Just nice little walk outside.
So I was just curious, this is a good opportunity, I think, to talk about that weight training and how that fits in, because I do think not everyone sees the ads for weight training and understanding that versus getting a treadmill or something to try to reach their goal. So explain that just a bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, so weight training is not, glamorous. The basics do work, but the whole, idea with weight training is trying to build as much lean muscle mass as you can, because that is kind of your furnace for your body to burn calories while you're at rest. So the more lean muscle you can have on your frame or on your body, the more calories you're going to be able to burn at rest. So yes, like theoretically, do you burn more calories going for a 3-mile jog? Yes, at that time.
Right.
But it's kind of like return on investment.
Yeah, I was just
like
thinking, my mind works
right?
in dollars
Yes.
and numbers, and I'm thinking,
Yes.
okay, so you're putting some investment in
Yeah.
every month because you know that's going to earn something passively over
Yes,
time.
yes, it's
Okay.
exactly that. So that is why it is so important. And as we age, we can't stop that process, but we lose muscle mass anyways. And so if you can try to maintain as much as you can, to hold on to that will only help you.
It gives you a
And
graceful entry into your 60s, maybe.
Yes,
That's what we're going
yeah,
for,
and
guys.
you're never-
Clean landing.
Yeah, and you're never too old to start, weight training. Like, if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're like, I've never picked up a weight in my life, it's not too late.
I think that's sometimes a roadblock if you've been inactive for quite a while, like just figuring out how you can get back into it.
Right. Right, and it sounds simple, and it is, but it is hard, but it's simply just by starting. Like, it's hard, like, right, it sounds so easy to do, but I think we overthink it, or we think we have to do X, Y, Z, and it's just, like, just start. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's not gonna be perfect, you're gonna mess up, but,
It might not look good while you're doing it
right,
to start with.
but it's okay, you're starting, you're doing it.
You're giving that safe place.
Yes, yes.
Well, talk to us about how somebody kind of gets started with you then, Kelly.
So I, either they're reaching out through me through social media,
Okay. Facebook page?
or I'm on Instagram as well, sending me a message, and I like to schedule a call with someone and just talking through and, seeing if I can help somebody. Whatever it is. I'm not a physical therapist or anything like that, so I do have some people that come and are looking more for that route, and I'm not a physical therapist. And then we just, we meet, we try to, my schedule, since it is the busy time of the year, like in January, I've gotten a lot of new clients, which
That's
is
great.
awesome.
Yeah,
which is
good.
great. And so I am a one-man shop, like it's just me, and I can only start my day so early and go so long.
I was going to ask how long you've been up, but I don't know if that's
like since about 4:15
Oh my
this morning. So, so just kind of trying to accommodate and get them scheduled, and whether they're only coming and seeing me once a week, or if they're coming 2 or 3 times a week. It just really depends on their schedule, my schedule, and then obviously like the financials of it, like what they can afford.
That makes sense.
So.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
We're
thanks for
really
having me.
proud of your local business and what you're
Yeah.
doing, and just being in the business of supporting people through things like saving money or getting fit. It's hard work, but you want to build a relationship, be there for each other, and we really respect what you're doing.
Thank you.
And what you're investing in our community. And back to your following and your supporters, it's so neat to see them so active on social media and being excited for you being on the radio this morning. And
It's fun.
we just wish everybody that's working with you the success, meeting their goals for 2022
Yeah.
and hitting all those marks. That's great.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on. Okay, and you may know the trivia answer too. I don't know.
She's like, nope, I'm out of here.
What NFL stadium, past or present, has hosted the most NFL playoff games? There's 3 choices. Lambeau, pretty iconic for the Packers. Gillette Stadium for the Patriots. They've been there the most in the 2000s. Or Candlestick Park, 49ers. Joe Montana, Steve Young had some good runs. Paul, on the clock.
Well, you said a very popular name, so I'm going to go C.
C was, what was that?
Candlestick Park.
You're right.
You said Joe Montana. So
Oh, man.
that was what helped me out.
I always need to stop talking. Tanner's looking at me. Why is he staring? Stop it. Okay,
Yeah,
well.
you said Joe Montana. That's even as a non-sports guy. That's the name. You know.
Joe Montana just had a great way of throwing the ball. I mean, he just made it
pretty
look
good.
pretty easy. Well, good job, Paul. We're happy about that you got the trivia correct.
Thank you.
Here. I don't know if you're on the streak. Are we on the streak?
I don't know.
I think you missed.
Missed a couple weeks
Okay.
ago. I know
New
that.
streak starting. Just like
New
starting
year.
to get fit.
There
New
you go.
year.
New Year.
You
new
got to
streak.
start somewhere. We
Yep.
just heard that from Kelly. Okay, we got some words of wisdom to part with
Okay.
today. Before we part, from Bob Saget. He passed away this week. That was
Yes,
sad.
he did.
We all probably watched Full House quite a
Yeah.
bit. Danny Tanner, I think was his name.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. His words of wisdom: if you don't wake up every day happy, change something.
Those are good words of wisdom.
Yeah, I like that.
I do too.
Thanks a bunch, Paul.
Thank you guys. We'll see you again next Friday.
All right.